Oi to oi, and welcome back to PickItUpGaming. Hope you're doing well, your gods in the new world, current world and the old world. Hope you're doing well and keeping warm in these winter months, because it is Ragnarok and it's also December. So keep warm, keep safe, keep huddled up and keep comfy. In this week's video I'm reviewing God of War Ragnarok. Does it live up to legend of a god, or does it fall in battle and then perish away to never be a myth and forgotten about? Let's find out together, shall we? And let's get going, baby! So as you guys and girls know, it's time for some basic facts about the video game that I'm reviewing. God of War Ragnarok is an action-adventure game developed by Santa Monica Studios and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It was released in November 2022 and is a sequel to God of War 2018. It's the 9th overall game in the series, but the second one in this current rebooted series. So there's plenty of games to dip into, but each having their own kind of charm. But be warned, if you do go back to the older games, especially the original 7 or 8, or 7, yeah, that's the one. They can be a bit violent, a bit over the top violence, hence why they rebooted 2018 into this kind of more, still has the violence, but it's not over top, it's not, yeah, over top basically. But it does adhere back to his past sins, the damage he's done in Greece, because this one is based in Norse mythology, well, loosely based in Norse mythology. So yeah, don't expect to be pinpoint accurate, but it's still got the old things that you will know about, like Thor and Odin, etc, etc. So on to the story. Now, like the first game, the story is probably the main thing you come here for, because the first game was absolutely brilliant, telling a captive story about a man trying to forget his past, trying to move on from it, trying to bury it because he's ashamed of what he's done, whilst trying to raise his son and honour his late wife's wishes. Once again, spoilers for this video, a bit early now, but I'm assuming you played the first game, but if you haven't, this is your spoiler for this video. I'll try and keep most of it out as I want you to enjoy it yourself, but if I do kind of stumble onto some things, just bear that in mind. So, following the events of the first game, it seems like Kratos and Atreus have appeared to start Ragnarok, as well as piss off the Asgardian gods Thor and Odin. Also along the way, earning the wrath of Freya, as is the first game, she does kill her son, which will piss any parent off. So with Atreus struggling to find his identity, wishing to know more of his heritage and where he belongs in this world, he looks to find Tyr and prevent a war from happening, or to prevent Ragnarok from happening. Now, taking control of both main characters, Kratos, played by Christopher Judge, as most people know Teal'c, that's where I know him from, what a great choice it was, and Atreus played Sonny Selig, I believe I pronounced that right, sorry, but then you go through the 9 realms once again, uncovering new secrets, meeting old allies, as well as making new ones. And also you get to learn more about the world, more about the history, more about the gods and what's going on, which I do appreciate it, because it makes the game a lot more, makes the times between story beats more engaging, more fun and more interesting to hear about what's happened in the past, more discovery about the gods, etc, etc. So yeah, that's basically this story. You go through this world to try and find Ragnarok and battling some gods and monsters and other creatures along the way. It's all fun, it's all God of War dudes and dudettes. So gameplay is mostly staying the same, whilst including some new abilities and traversal abilities, as well as some new weapons. The biggest change is the fact that you can now play as Atreus, who doesn't have the same force and raw power as Kratos does, but it certainly has his own impressive powers. Combat still feels meaty and impactful, and having a revolving cast of supporting players and companions adds a new layer to the fighting and makes it more interesting and more diverse. Boss fights, as ever in these games, are the best things about the games, as well as the story. They're always epic and grand and really highly entertaining. And like the first game, acting for the main cast is outstanding and almost perfect every single way. I'm happy to see the 3 actors that I really personally like doing so well. And Christopher Judge needs to play live action Kratos in the Amazon series. Don't want to hear Triple H, don't want to hear Bryan Cranston, don't want to hear any other nonsense. It's got to be Christopher Judge. So visuals, controls and sounds. Controls are easy to get to grips with, as things haven't changed that much since the first game, God of War 2018. Travelling and climbing can be a bit frustrating at times, with some of the animations being really slow and a bit clunky, but that's obviously just for them to load the next area up, which I don't mind so much, to be fair. It's a bit annoying, but it is what it is. And not always clear and where to go, especially if you've been to the area and trying to find little collectibles. Sometimes that can be a bit frustrating as well, but visually it looks great, sounds amazing, and acting and voice capture and motion capture are always brilliant. So in those 3 regards, the game is sound, fun and amazing. no complaints there, buddies. So final thoughts. The game had a lot to live up to. For the most part, it does. For me, it suffers from the story being a bit stop and start, going from loads of action, loads of fighting, to then some slow parts that for me didn't feel entirely necessary and made the story drag a little bit. Some of the casting for me also feels a bit out of place. Mostly I'd say Odin, and nothing against the actor, but he doesn't feel right. Maybe it's the accent and it's reminding me of some kind of old mob boss rather than some impressive, intimidating Norse god. Also, having a southern accent in this game feels really weird because it's Norse. Southern American accent just doesn't feel right, but that's my personal opinion. Obviously, you might feel different. Also, I wish some of the gods, some of the other actors, some of the other characters had a bit more screen time, as I did feel they're kind of underused, especially like mostly 4 in person. I just felt like he's the main kind of bad guy, along with Odin. Used him a bit more, didn't use him as much, which is a bit frustrating for me. And also, whilst I enjoyed the conversations in the first game between the characters as it felt natural, this one kind of felt a bit forced, a bit overused, a bit kind of like, oh, you enjoyed it, so here's loads more of it. And whilst I largely enjoyed the story, from the acting to the voice acting to everything in between, the ending did make me feel a bit hollow, if I'm honest. I won't spoil it for you and let you experience it for yourself, but I kind of felt a bit meh afterwards. Hey, despite those issues, it's definitely a must-have game. It's still fantastic and epic. Is it because of the old God of War 2018 version, the first one? No. But is it brilliant? Absolutely. So if you get a chance, go out, buy it for Christmas, go out and enjoy it. Definitely a game that you're worth spending the money on, and I think for the most part you enjoy it like I did. But anyway, guys and girls, gods and goddesses, hope you're doing well, hope you're staying safe, hope you're staying strong, hope you're keeping warm during this winter months, because once again, this is a winter video. And hopefully I'll speak to you soon. But once again, if you ever need to talk to someone, even if I have a ramble like I'm rambling right now, don't be afraid to reach out and speak to me. Right, keep safe, keep strong. Until the next time, guys and girls, gods and goddesses, like I said, I'll see you soon. Right, yo.